That was the management at ICICI talking about the IPO. Let's welcome in our next guest, Ruchit Jain, Equity Technical Analyst at Angel Broking. Ruchit, good afternoon. Let's start with ICICI Bank. 2% higher, IPO is now behind. On the price movement, what is the sort of move that you expect?
Good afternoon, Pankaj. Pankaj, broadly last 5-6 trading sessions we have seen that this stock has been consolidating in a range, and even today there was a gap up opening, but still there is no follow up move which has been seen. So I think the resistance for the stock is around now in this range of 280 to 285, and it's very close to that resistance area. So we are not expecting any major upside from current levels in ICICI Bank. I think this consolidation phase from 280 285 on the higher side and 260 on the low side would continue for some more time.
As far as microfinance companies are concerned, let's start with Bharat Financial Services. What's the view there? A breakout today of 4%?
Yeah, probably Bharat Finance also, if you observe, then since 11th of August, so I think almost 1.5 months the stock has consolidated in the range of 850 and 740. So 110 rupees range it has been trading in. I mean, today's trading session, although the up move is there for 4.5%, but after this up move, now the stock has again approached the higher end of the range. So before taking a buy call over here, I would like to see some sort of breakout coming in the charts. In case if it manages to give a breakout about 840, 850 in next 2-3 trading sessions, I think one should consider buying this stock only after the breakout. Right now, last 1.5 months it's spent in this consolidation phase, and unless there is a breakout or breakdown of this range, there won't be any directional momentum.
Right. So what's the range on the higher side? What's the level that you look from where it can turn back?
The 840 is the resistance. August in the first week of August, the high was 840, from where the stock corrected up to 750. Again, it gave a bounce back from 750, and in the first week of September, again it registered high of around 840. So already twice 840 has acted as resistance in the last couple of months. So I think only if 840 is taken, then we can see resumption of the uptrend in this stock.
But as of now, it's not a buy.
Yeah, as of now it's not a buy. It's after this up move from the lower end of 750, now it's getting closer to the higher end of the range. So rather than buying now, let 2 or 3%, even if it misses, that won't be a worry, since the uptrend would be resumed only on crossover of 840. So this is one of stock which should be bought after the breakout rather than preempting breakout from current levels.
Any view on Castrol? That's also up 3% today after a good move a couple of days back.
So this stock now has been continuously forming this high top high bottom structure. We have seen that in recent past last 1.5 months, although volatility has been on the high in this stock, but whenever the stock has corrected, it has found some good amount of support coming in after corrections. So I think this uptrend could continue in this stock, and on the high side the stock has potential to go up to 500, 505 levels. So we continue to maintain a positive stance on this stock. Even at current levels, from trading perspective, if anyone wants to go long, one can go long for target of around 500 to 505.
For 500 and 505, that was the resistance that was the earlier level during the results time, right?
Right, there was the not during this results time, but if you observe the positional charts, then during August 2015, that 505 acted as a stiff resistance from where the stock corrected right way up to 360 levels. So that has to be acting. So that levels would act as a resistance now after this up move. So around 500, 505, which is the August 2015 resistance for this stock. Till that, I think till those levels, the stock could go in next 1 or 2 weeks itself.
Any view on Aurobindo Pharma? It's up 6% today, going to the year high of 891.
Yes, Pankaj, today probably the stock has given a breakout from a long consolidation phase. The prices were trading in a triangular pattern since February 2016, so almost 6 to 7 months the prices have consolidated in a triangular phase. And also if you observe the RSI on the weekly charts, then the RSI was, during this entire consolidation phase, RSI was unable to manage to go above 60. So usually whenever the RSI on the weekly charts goes above 60, that is a sign of a uptrend in the stock. So after this consolidation today, even prices have given a breakout of this consolidation phase, and also RSI has crossed the 60 mark after many months. or in fact after many weeks. So probably this uptrend has been resumed in the stock, and I think the recent highs which were there in this stock around 890, that also should be crossed very shortly. So any sort of dips today, already the stock is up by 5-6%. So I think in next 1 or 2 trading session, if any sort of dip comes, then this stock should be bought, keeping a stop loss below 800 and expecting a target above 900 in this.
Expecting a target about 900. So one should buy now, or just because we've seen a 6% move, just wait for a little bit of correction and then start to buy?
I think wait for a little bit of correction. Risk reward is almost 1:1 at current levels. So if we get it around 835, 840, the risk reward would be much favorable at those levels. So in 1 or 2 trading sessions, I think if correction comes and if we get the stock between 835 to 840, that should be used as a buying opportunity again.
Right. Any other pharma names which are looking interesting, or it's only Aurobindo at this point of time? Glenmark is also up 3%.
So probably we are positive on Glenmark, Lupin and Aurobindo Pharma. If we observe the charts of Glenmark, then more or less like Aurobindo Pharma, only the stock has given a breakout from a consolidation phase. There's a high top, high bottom structure now getting formed into Glenmark Pharma. And also if you observe the volumes, then in recent up moves, the volumes have been good on Glenmark Pharma. So I think this upside momentum could continue in Glenmark Pharma as well. One can buy this stock at current levels or on any sort of dips for keeping a target around 960 in about next 1 week's time frame. And we are also positive on Lupin, although the stock has not done that well today in today's session. But if we observe the monthly charts, then in last 13 years, the RSI has always taken support near the level of 45 on monthly charts. And so this means that in last 13 years of uptrend, whenever the stock has shown corrective move, RSI has acted support around 45. So right now, after this recent corrective move in last 5-6 months, the RSI is again trading around those support levels, and even the trend following, some of the trend following indicators are on weekly charts are now in buy mode. So I think Lupin is one of the stock which could resume the uptrend from current levels. One should have at least 1 to 2 months of time frame, and keeping about 1 to 2 months of time frame in mind, I think the stock has potential to rally up to 1700 from current levels. So even at current levels, Lupin, Aurobindo Pharma and Glenmark Pharma, these are the top 3 picks from the pharma pack which could do well in short term.
What will be your view on Reliance Industries? It's at a new 52-week high today, really after a long time.
Yes, although it's a new 52-week high, but I think this around 1100 there is a resistance placed in this stock. If you observe the recent up move from lower levels, then there's a bearish harmonic pattern getting formed around 1090, 1100. So I would wait for some sort of further momentum on the upside. In case if it continues to move above 1100, then I think the uptrend would continue. But right now I would be a bit skeptical and tend to avoid going long at current levels in this stock.
Right. As far as some of the other names are concerned, in the top gaining list for the Nifty, what will be your view on Hindalco? 3.5% higher. The day's high today is 155. Not being able to take that out.
So what we have seen that after this recent correction today, again there was a gap up opening in the stock, and post gap up opening also there is a good follow up momentum coming in the stock. So I think the stock again could go up to 161, 162 levels, which were the recent highs. So one should trade with positive biasness in the stock. On any long positions, keep a stop loss below 148, which is about 1 rupees below today's lower end of the gap area, and on the high side 162, 63 could be expected.
Right. Just a word on SBI and BOB as well. How are they looking? 2 to 3% higher for these names, but we have seen such rallies and then they tend to correct.
Pankaj, I think these PSU banks overall would still consolidate, or even these stocks might correct from current levels. If we observe the SBI, then 250 is a support for the stock. If we see the trend following indicators, some of the trend following indicators on hourly and daily charts are in sell mode now. So I think some sort of correction should be there in PSU banks from current levels. We are expecting that in case 250 is broken, then the SBI could correct up to 231, 234 levels, and those would be good levels to enter into the stock again. Even Bank of Baroda, if we see the entire up move from lower levels since the month of February, then there is no impulsive up move in the stock. there are overlapping wave structure, which is not that positive sign, and the wave E of this overlapping wave structure has ended near the recent highs. So I think there's a room for correction in PSU banking stocks. So from current levels, one should avoid going long into the stock. In fact, in names such as SBI, in case if it goes below 250, then from very short term perspective, one can look to go short at short below 250, and even in Bank of Baroda at current levels also one can look to create short positions. We are expecting target of around 155 to in next 2 to 3 weeks in Bank of Baroda.
Right, Ruchit. Thank you so much for taking out time for us and giving us the views on various stocks that we asked you about. Taking a break, coming back in 2 minutes, 94 points higher, 20 points off the day's highest point.